Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known, for when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century, speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Business lives on the
Many thanks for joining us on Marketing Edge on TV, Nigeria's leading initiative in the business of brand management and in the management of brand business. It is a 30-minute awesome package that comprises brand news, brand and focus, and industry conversation, all in a mix encompassing thorough and in-depth analysis aimed at promoting the brand idea. I'm Oluwabukola Omoni. Stay tuned.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
We begin with brand news, where we bring you the latest development around brands and on the field of marketing and advertising in Nigeria and around the world. Now on brand news.
And the winner is Marketing Edge.
Marketing Edge, an
Congratulations to Marketing Edge,
media platform that sets agenda and keeps regular tabs on happenings and developments on brands, marketing and advertising in Nigeria and worldwide, has emerged as the best supporter of PR at the Lagos Public Relations Industry Gala and Awards, La Priga 2023. In 2021, Marketing Edge also emerged as the PR magazine of the year. The 2023 La Priga, which held recently at the Mission Center Lagos, was themed The Game Changer. This year's La Priga featured a wide range of categories, including Best in Technology Public Relations, Best Supporter of PR, Best in Public Relations Education, Best in Hospitality PR, Best in Political Communication, Best in Entertainment PR, and Best Use of Research and Measurement. Commenting on the award, Mr. John Ajayi, the CEO publisher of Marketing Edge, expressed profound gratitude to God for the prestigious award. He commended the organizers for the special recognition and also congratulated every member of the group's team who has been relentlessly and creatively working and delivering at the least uncompromising standards. Other awardees at the highly competitive and revered award include Marketing Edge reporter Ibidu Banjoko, who emerged PR Journalist of the Year. Marketing Edge, Nigeria's leading marketing and advertising magazine, has held its culminating event of the year, the 4th Quarterly Virtual Summit in 2023. This quarter's edition themed IMC Trends to Watch Out For in 2024 was conducted on Zoho, where seasoned professionals unraveled the anticipated trends in the integrated marketing communications for the upcoming year. Delivering his welcome address, John Ajayi, publisher CEO of Marketing Edge magazine and the summit's convener, disclosed that the quarterly summit series is designed to set agenda for the entire Nigerian marketing and advertising ecosystem by regularly initiating contemporary issues and challenges affecting businesses in the sector. This, he revealed, aligns with the magazine's vision of promoting the brand idea while expanding the frontiers of marketing and advertising knowledge in Nigeria and globally. Leading the conversation at the all-inclusive industry event is Baba Awokwetu, consultant strategy and marketing at Stagma, with an impressive lineup of distinguished speakers and renowned professionals who looked at the major themes that will shape the integrated marketing communications landscape and how businesses can respond to these potential trends in the year ahead, connect with buyers and sellers across a plethora of channels while creating value for the consumer. Other speakers at the summit include Jude Odia, Marketing Director of Starcom Media Perspective, Henry Ononiwu, Head of New Business Projects and Partnerships at PhD Nigeria, Muyiwa Aleshinloye, Director Digital and Media, Center and West Africa Region at Publicis Group, Dotun Babatunde, Head of Digital Marketing at Olam Nigeria Limited, Jolomi Awala, Creative Director at Ogilvy Nigeria, Akinola Afere, Director, Client Services at Kanta Insights Division, and Dolapo Otegbayi, a Commercial Director. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, and his Ogun State counterpart, Dapo Abiodun, have extolled Union-level Nigeria for living up to its vision, which is driven by purpose to make sustainable living commonplace for all, as well as to act on the social and environmental issues by enhancing people's lives with its products. They have also commended the leading global company for its contributions to the development of education and environment in the last 100 years. Governor Abiodun praised the company for its dedication to social responsibility initiatives such as educational programs and environmental sustainability projects aimed at improving the health of the planet and well-being, thereby contributing to a fairer, more socially inclusive world. The National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, has issued a warning to Nigerians, urging caution while conducting activities on the internet due to an increase in phishing attacks now enhanced with the use of artificial intelligence tools. According to NITDA, cyber criminals are utilizing AI to conduct thorough research on their targets, allowing them to create personalized messages that deceive individuals into releasing their confidential information. Phishing attacks involve various tactics such as coercing individuals into opening infected email attachments, clicking on malicious links, or compromising sensitive data like users' name, passwords, or bank information. These attacks can be in form of phishing emails, phone calls, or text messages aimed at manipulating people for exploitation. That was brand news. Next is Brand in Focus, right after the break.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Oh, no.
Unlimited. Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
Now on Brand in Focus. The digital marketing landscape in 2024 is projected to be characterized by a surge in investments in online video, social media, and mobile platforms, with TikTok and YouTube emerging as the front runners, while X faces challenges and the Metaverse experiences a decline in confidence. The allure of TikTok and YouTube as advertising platforms appears to be gaining momentum, reflecting a shift in audience engagement and preferences. as users flock to these dynamic video sharing platforms. Marketers are keen on capitalizing on the potential reach and impact offered by these channels. Meanwhile, traditional channels like print, cinema, and TV, however, might experience either a stagnation or a decrease in spending according to projections. Some creative agencies believe that consumers, driven by a desire for value and a focus on essentials, are steering the marketing narrative towards authenticity and result. Backed by latest insights from a WAC report, which revealed that the continuous shift in consumer preferences has pointed TikTok and YouTube as major beneficiaries of increased marketing spend in 2024. On the flip side, X, formerly Twitter, faces challenges due to recent controversies, leading 31% of marketers to anticipate a reduction in investment, the highest drop seen in the past 3 years. Others also attributed the expected increase in YouTube and TikTok marketing spend to the surge in views on generative AI tool-related videos. A noticeable change in confidence towards the Metaverse is also evident according to the WAC report. While 47% of marketers foresaw an increase in Metaverse investment in 2023, only a mere 11% hold the same expectation for the following year. This significant change signals a re-evaluation of the Metaverse's current impact and its potential role in marketing strategies, causing marketers to approach this evolving landscape with caution. Next is Industry Conversation, where we have discussions with industry thought leaders who have distinguished themselves in the business of brand management and in the management of brand business. My guest today is an executive creative director at one of the leading creative agencies in Nigeria. Join me right after the break.
It's the season to reflect on how far you've come.
Get everything done. Workout mix, please.
And the endless opportunities that lie ahead.
Guys, I'll make my decision and get back to you.
For every one of us. So here's wishing you incredible surprises.
Which one is mine?
All 8 of them.
And a prosperous new year, this season and beyond. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
Many thanks for joining us on Industry Conversation. Today we'll be speaking with the Executive Creative Director of Publicis Groupe Nigeria, SINMISOLA HUGHES-OBISESAN. Many thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
And I need to say, you look fantabulous.
Thank you so much.
Okay, great, SINMISOLA. Okay, so I know that you have led, creative and impactful marketing campaigns. Now, tell us, how do you stay on top of the, ever-changing marketing landscape?
How do I stay on top? One of the things that I ensure that I do is I always make sure I'm like a student. My mind is a sponge. I'm constantly learning, constantly training, absorbing things around me so that I am refreshed. My mind is full of information, new technologies, new ways of doing things, understanding the consumer. So it's very important that, I ensure that I'm learning. I'm in a constant state of learning, and I ensure my team are also learning as well.
Okay, great. So let's talk about campaigns. Now, give us an example of a campaign, that required significant adaptability and how, your team was able to navigate, the unexpected challenges and how that became a success.
Actually, there's actually been quite many. And I would say that, one of the things about working with a company as large as our group, inside Publicis and Leo Burnett Lagos, we handle a lot of global accounts. And we're trusted to ensure that when we deliver these campaigns, we're localizing a lot of what we're doing. So not just adaptations, but ensuring that, we're taking big ideas that have been developed maybe in more developed markets. It could be in Europe or in America, for example. And we ensure that, we are able to adapt to scale for the Nigerian consumer. I mean, we've done many from Heineken to Pepsi and to Mirinda, Amazon Prime as well. Visa is also a client that's, a brand that we work on, whether it's from the World Cup or whether it's AFCON. We're working across different markets to ensure that there's a seamless messaging, but in a way that will resonate with the Nigerian consumer.
Okay, great. So I know that in the world of marketing and communications, creativity is very, very crucial.
Absolutely.
Now, how do you foster a culture of innovation and creative thinking within your teams?
Wow. What I would say is I'm very much about people having fun in the work that they do, right? And enjoying what they do. And when you foster an environment where it's not forced fun, but natural, organic fun, people are able to create. People create when they're happy. Creatives, whether you're a musician, whether you're a painter, you have to be in the right state of mind to be able to create. And I like to ensure that I create a department where people enjoy loving and doing what they're doing.
Okay, so let's talk about the role of diversity and inclusion in your approach of, to marketing and leadership. Now, how does that influence your strategies and campaigns?
Wow. I think it's not lost on me that I am probably the only female ECD in Nigeria. I work with teams across Africa as well, and I know that there's similar situations there where we're very few in number. So I really do take that into consideration when I'm recruiting, ensuring that there's balance within my teams and ensuring that there's fair practices in terms of the women are not at the back. I've seen scenarios where women are often overlooked over men, and men are packaged into senior roles because they fit it better. But women do amazing things. We bring a lot to the table. Men do amazing things as well. So it's just to ensure that there's right balance. I think that's the word I would use. I'm very proud of having a creative department that has quite a lot of women in senior roles doing amazing things. And how it translates into the work is that, if we have female voices in the room when we're ideating, when we're creating, we can also ensure that the female voice of the consumer is there. I'll give an example. Sometimes when we're working with teams and they don't understand that maybe something could be a bit sexist or a bit derogatory, or it's not quite, they don't intentionally mean to do it, but having a female voice in the room is able to kind of ensure that, there's balance, exactly. And then the fact that, purchasing power in the homes, women do a lot of the purchasing. So it's just to ensure that we understand the consumer and we're able to get the consumer's voice right.
Okay, great. So I know that you work with, various groups, across board. Now, how do you ensure effective collaboration amongst, multidisciplinary teams, especially when working across global offices?
Right. I mean, I think if you were to ask anybody what my leadership style is or how SIMI works, I am a very collaborative, creative person. I have always been, even right from the onset, even as I've grown up the ladder. I collaborate with teams, even cross-functional teams as well. Welcome ideas from anywhere, and just ensure that there's inclusivity in those ideas and things like that. So I think that, you know, it is something that I'm very big on collaboration. I collaborate a lot with my clients. I often find that, you know, sometimes when my teams are in the room with the clients, you wouldn't even know who is the client, who is the creative, you know, you know, and we're just bouncing ideas. There's a lot going on. It's very blending, exactly. And I think that's the best environment for creativity, collaboration, co-creation, yeah, as well.
So I know you've achieved, you know, international awards for various, you know, impactful and effective campaigns. Now, tell us, what are the key elements you think contribute to a successful marketing campaign in today's competitive landscape?
It's a good question. I think there are myriad of factors, right? I don't think there's just one thing that says this makes it a successful campaign. For example, I think, you know, when you're developing a campaign, it's important at the beginning that everyone is aligned on what the metrics are or what the performance indicators are, right? First and foremost. So it's not enough to just be chasing, you know, awards, but then you're not doing anything impactful for your client. I would say that as long as we're able to meet our project objectives, whatever the case may be, it could be sales, it could be affinity building, it could be volumes, growing volumes, or whatever the case may be. It could be uptake, you know, driving subscriptions. Yeah, so I think it depends. It's not also about trending campaigns as well. I think campaigns really should drive impact and, you know, positive change in society beyond just the service or the product, what the product offers. Yeah.
Okay, great. So let's talk about COVID-19. I know that with COVID-19, it brought about different change and shifts in the industry. Now, how do you, what are the strategies you have adopted that has addressed these changes, and, you know, what lessons have you learned along the way?
I mean, COVID brought a lot of change in behavior, habits, consumer habits, the way people work. I think that for me was the biggest thing. I mean, who knew back then that, you know, everyone didn't have to be in a room to be able to have like a meeting, to be able to achieve things. You know, people work smarter now, you know. We value time more. Exactly. We value time more. We value people more. You know, so there has been a lot of changes, I would say, that has brought by the impact of COVID-19. COVID was a long time ago, but, you know, you can see that there's just a whole myriad of changes. Yeah.
Okay, so what lessons have you learned from the whole COVID scenario?
Wash your hands. Wash your hands. That's the biggest one. As our parents always say, wash your hands, wash your hands. No, on jokes aside, I would say that, you know, the humanity side of things, you know, during COVID, we lost a lot of people. And I think COVID made us as humans a lot more introspective and less frivolous, you know. So there was, you know, all of a sudden we realized we can have a wedding with 50 people and it will still be a beautiful wedding, you know. So it really, I felt that it curbed wastage, you know. So those, I think, for me, the humanity side of things is the most impactful thing about COVID.
Okay, any significant lessons you want marketeers to take away from that? Consumer habits. You know, the consumer changed, and the way they consumed post-COVID, you know. So there were, I would say, significant changes in that. It's really all about consumers. It's all about people, right? And how we do things. And I think COVID really did change a whole lot of that when you look at the consumer journey and things like that. Okay, great. So I know that it's not gainsaying that you're a leader in the marketing and communications landscape. Now, my question is, what do you see, you know, as the future for the evolving industry?
That's a good question. There's a lot, I think. I think one of the big buzzwords this year was AI, right? And how we can really use AI to harness our powers as creatives and creators and marketeers. AI is not a robot, right? It's not something that is a quick fix, right? If you understand how AI works as a creative, it can make you faster. It can open your minds a little bit more, you know, but it won't make you creative, right? Just largely because it's built on what exists already. And whereas when you think about creativity, creativity really is also, you know, originality and coming up with something different and new, right? So it can help you start your ideas faster, or it can just help you kind of broaden your thinking, your scope, or help you fine-tune even what you already have, right? And just give you a good springboard, I would say. But I mean, there's a lot. You can talk about the metaverse. You can talk about just how technology is really driving a whole host of changes. Yeah, I think personalization as well, I think is going to be very big in the future. We increasingly must speak to people as individuals rather than mass consumers. I think also collaboration with creators is crucial. So for example, we get a lot of briefs where we're having to ideate or develop work with creators. And you know, if you're working with someone as big as, you know, an actress as big as Funke Akindele or somebody like that, the best thing is to collaborate and get her ideas, or whether it's Ebuka, you know, you're basically ideating together in terms of this is what the brand wants to do. The brand wants to use you as an influencer. What are your thoughts, right? So there's a lot of collaboration, I think, in the future as well for creators.
Thank you so much for joining us on the program. It's been fabulous talking with you.
Thank you.
And that's the much we can take on this week's episode of Marketing Edge on TV. Join us same time next week for another interesting episode. I am Oluwabukola Omani. Bye for now.
Martin Luther King Jr. was born in Atlanta, Georgia, January 15, 1929. The son of a Baptist minister, King received a doctorate degree in theology and in 1955 helped organize the first major protest of the African American civil rights movement, the successful Montgomery bus boycott. King participated in and led marches for the right to vote, desegregation, labor rights, and other civil rights. He advocated civil disobedience and nonviolent opposition against segregation in the South, influenced by Mahatma Gandhi. The peaceful protests he led throughout the American South were often met with violence. Nonetheless, Dr. King and his supporters were persistent and the movement gained momentum. Dr. King was a powerful orator. He appealed to Christian and American ideals and won growing support from the federal government and Northern White. In 1963, Bayard Rustin and A. Philip Randolph led the massive march on Washington for jobs and freedom. The event's grand finale was King's famous I Have a Dream speech. 250,000 people gathered outside the Lincoln Memorial to hear the stirring speech. In 1964, the civil rights movement achieved two of its greatest successes: the ratification of the 24th Amendment, which abolished the poll tax, and the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which prohibited racial discrimination in employment and education and outlawed racial segregation in public facilities. In the same year, King became the youngest person to win the Nobel Peace Prize. In the late 1960s, King openly criticized U.S. involvement in Vietnam and turned his efforts to winning economic rights for poor Americans. He was a leader of the American Civil Rights Movement and organized a number of peaceful protests as head of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, including the March on Washington in 1963. He was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee on April 4, 1968.